How are you? Welcome to Value TV. I'm Dennis Smith from the Florence Civic Center, and along with Gary Crawford, we'd like to talk a little bit today about the American Soldier exhibition appearing here at the Florence Civic Center. Began on Veterans Day, November 11th, and running through February 2nd, 2010. Gary was kind enough to be a part of our sponsorship packages here with us, and we'd love to be able to talk a little bit about the exhibition and how it all came about.
Dennis, now before we get started, would you tell us something about the curator of the American Soldier and how she came up with this exhibit?
Seema Rubin is the curator. She's an Emmy Award-winning producer and curator of this exhibition, as well as a Pulitzer Prize exhibition that she has touring the nation as well. She came up with an idea back in 1999. She saw a picture of a soldier from the Battle of the Bulge. He sat on this pile of blankets, smoked a cigarette, and the look on his face, she said, just stuck with her, and she decided from there to put an exhibition together to show our American ground forces from the beginning of photographic time, which is of course the Civil War running through today in Iraq and Afghanistan. I think this photograph here, Gary, is a prime example of what she was looking for when she was putting the exhibition together, as far as showing that the soldiers are basically the same, they're just in different time frames. This gentleman here is in World War I. He's watching a parade in New York City. He's obviously lost a leg. His wife is holding his young child, watching a parade in New York City from World War I. Later on in the exhibition, we'll see a very similar photograph to where a GI lost both limbs, both legs, in Vietnam, and is watching a parade in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with his baby in his arms. So you'll see it's the very same young faces. It's the same thing behind the eyes. And they're dealing with the same things, like I mentioned before, just completely different time frames, different enemies.
One thing that I noticed, Dennis, from the earliest exhibit here on the Civil War is a Union Army Women's Volunteer Unit. And you see these ladies with their weapons, and I noticed all through the exhibit and just about every conflict the presence of women, and they can certainly be proud of their history and participation in our nation's conflict.
Absolutely. A lot of times women are forgotten. A lot of times throughout our history, when you're studying warfare, it's kind of a natural revelation to think about men in combat. But you're absolutely right. Women have been prevalent in combat roles and combat situations from the very beginning of warfare.
When we think of soldiers in the field, they often have to encounter the most difficult and extreme weather. And in this picture of a Korean war soldier on a frozen field in Korea is depicted the misery and the agony that foot soldiers often have to endure in carrying out their duties. Dennis, I believe you said this was your favorite picture. Can you tell us why?
Sure. This, I think, speaks volumes for what our men and women go through anytime they are sent off to a foreign land to fight for our country. You obviously see an older child. He knows what's happening. He's losing it. He's crying. Knows his dad is taken off to go to the Persian Gulf back in 1991. The young girl that's standing in front of her, she's obviously in tears as well. And then the little girl can't be more than 2.5, 3 years old, absolutely has no idea what's going on. And she's consoling her big brother for crying, and Dad's doing all he can to fight back tears. I think this speaks exactly what our men and women go through anytime they do get sent overseas. And speaking as a vet myself, I know how I'd feel if I had to leave my son behind for any given time. So I know what he's thinking, I know what he's feeling, and all of our veterans out there can speak the same. So Gary, we've been through the exhibition. We've talked about just about every photograph in here. Tell me, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about it?
Well, it is a very moving and scenic panorama of American fighting men in different eras. The uniforms are different, but the faces are the same. And it is a very graphic presentation, something that all veterans and all citizens should come and enjoy.
I agree. The exhibition will be here at the Florence Civic Center. It began on Veterans Day, November 11th. It's running through February 2nd, 2010. It's open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Sundays, 9 to 5. It is completely free to the public. There is no charge for admission. Please bring your school groups, bring your bus tour groups, veterans, bring your families, teach your children a little bit about our American history. Any questions at all, please give us a call here at the Civic Center. Thank you again for joining us. Have a great day.